Hi, this is Rajababu Gajangi. Today I am going to show you what is scholar's mate, what is fool's mate, and what is self-mate. So, welcome you all. Hi. So, let's see and let's learn scholar's mate. But before that, I want to tell you some basic rules in chess. For example, like when we set our chessboard, whenever we set our chessboard, that time we should always see our right hand side corner square. So our right hand side corner square should always be white color. So for all those who are newcomer or new into chess, for them, remember that your right hand side corner should be white. If you are playing from black side, then your right hand side corner will be this. So this should always white color. And second thing you should remember, that while placing king and queen, remember, while placing king and queen, you should always place your queen in white color square and the black queen should be in black color square. So remember these two very important basic rules. One is your right hand side square should be white in color. So before setting your chessboard, जब भी चेस बोर्ड सेट करने से पहले देखो कि राइट हैंड साइड का स्क्वायर जो है वो वाइट कलर में होना चाहिए. एंड द सेकेंड थिंग इज, जो क्वीन तुम्हारी जो प्लेसमेंट है, वाइट क्वीन शुड बी इन वाइट कलर and black queen should be in black color. These are two important basic rules. And the third rule is, whenever we touch a piece, we should play only that piece. For example, if I am touching my queen, then I have to play my queen only. If I am touching my knight, then I have to play my knight only. Okay, so also remember the name of these pieces. Like this is called rook, this is called knight, this is called bishop, this is called king, this is called queen. And henceforth in all my videos I am going to use only these names. So remember, this is called rook, this is called knight, this is called bishop, this is called king, and this is called queen. And these are pawns. So remember these names. Now let's see first scholar's mate. Now what is scholar's mate and how to achieve or how to deliver this scholar's mate? Now when we will look at, suppose if you are playing from white pieces, then look at all these black pawns. Okay, now when we will see all these black pawns, now just look at this. This black pawn is protected by rook. Similarly, every black pawn is protected by one or other pieces. Like this black pawn is protected with the bishop. This black pawn is protected with the with the queen. This black pawn is protected with the knight, bishop, queen, and king. Similarly, if I will come to this square, this pawn is protected only with the king. And we all know that the basic aim of our playing chess खेलने का जो basic aim है, opponent के king को checkmate करना है. That is what our basic aim. And if you want to do checkmate and if you are playing with white pieces, then you should target this square, and this name of this square is f7. F, so this is like f and it's 7. So f7 square is very crucial square you have to target when you are playing from white pieces. But if you are playing from black pieces, then you have to target f2 square, which is protected by only king. So this is a soft target or easy target for any player to attack. Okay, so this is f2 square. So if you are playing from black side, then f2 square should be target, and when you are playing from white side, then f7 square should be target. Now let's see how to do this scholar's mate. For example, if you are playing with the white pieces and you are moved first as a e4, and if your opponent is also played with e5, then you have to target this square. Now to target this square, you can use either your bishop or your queen to target this f7 square. Bishop, how? You can take the bishop here and target the f7 square, or take your queen to h5 and target the f7 square. This is what we can do. So here white play bishop to c4 and he is targeting this f7 square. Now to this, the black is simply developing some piece, knight to c6, and to this white is playing queen to h5. So very easy. Now he is targeting f7 square twice. Second time he is targeting. Now suppose if the black thinks that queen is come in his own territory, so he is thinking to play this knight and attack this queen. So that time the white can easily deliver checkmate. The game is over. So this is also called 4-move checkmate. So there are many ways to do this 4-move checkmate, but remember that scholar's mate is not a good idea to do, but that every chess player should know this, so that's why I am making this video. Okay, now let's see the another way of doing scholar's mate, which is also called 4-move mate. So after first move like e4 and e5, then there is another way of delivering this mate is first taking your queen to h5 and targeting f7 square. Now if your opponent try to play his bishop knight to c6, you can take your bishop here to attack this f7 square, and to this your opponent suppose make any move like is ignoring and is attacking your queen by playing this knight. By playing this knight, suppose is attacking your queen, or like suppose is taking his bishop also out. Okay, so in that case also you can do checkmate to your opponents in 4 moves. So this is what called scholar's mate. In my next video I will definitely teach you how to avoid this scholar's mate from black side. Okay, so this is about the scholar's mate. And one more way to do this scholar's mate is after e4 e5, you can take, as I told you, you can take your bishop to c4, and if your opponent play knight to c6, or maybe your opponent play bishop to c5, then you can take your queen here, and if your opponent play something like this, then you can play queen into f7 and you can do scholar's mate. So this is what you can checkmate your opponent in 4 moves. Now in during the scholars mate, when you try to do scholars mate, sometime your opponent can stop you from doing scholars mate. For example, when I am playing my first move like e4, and when your opponent is playing this e5, see when I am using this notation, this pawn is going or moving from the E file and it is the 4th rank, so it is E4. In my coming videos I will tell you what are the files, ranks and how to do these notations. But right now just we are playing a pawn in front of king, he is also playing his pawn in front of king. It is not compulsory that ki scholars mate hamesha hoga. Okay, so after queen h5, sometimes some players try to attack your queen immediately they try to attack your queen. So that time you know what we have to do, we have to capture this pawn and give check, and also take this rook. For example, if he stops your check, you can take this rook, and later on if you want you can capture this knight, you can capture this pawn. ऐसे तुम लोग capture कर सकते हो. For example, if he moves this king to support this knight, knight को support करने के लिए उसने move किया, you can play this pawn. And suppose if your opponent is moving his knight, you can give check with this bishop. There is a check with the bishop, and this knight cannot capture, knight capture नहीं कर सकता है, because there will be a check from queen. So this knight cannot capture because there will be a check from queen. So definitely he need to move his king. Now you can capture this knight. If he moves this bishop here, you can capture this bishop and you can checkmate your opponent. So this is one of the variation in scholars mate. Scholars mate करते वक्त ऐसा भी एक variation हो सकता है. So all these things you have to practice. Now the next is we are going to see, if you people don't understand what are the weak squares, and if they play anything without knowing the weak square and strong square, if you play anything, sometimes they may be get checkmated by fool's mate. Okay, sometimes they themselves checkmated by fool's mate. So now we are going to see how the fool's mate is going to happen. you know what, you will surprise that fool's mate can happen only in two moves. For example, suppose if the white is not knowing anything, उसको कुछ पता नहीं है, जस्ट सिर्फ उसको पता है कि हाउ पीसेस विल बी मूविंग, उसको सिर्फ पता है कि पीसेस को कैसे मूव करना है, तो इज सिंपली फर्स्ट मूव ओनली इज मेकिंग इज वीक पॉन मूव। तो उसने क्या किया, वीक पॉन को मूव किया एंड इज ओपन दिस डायगोनल, okay, and black is simply moving his pawn to two squares, and here white is playing this pawn. Because he is a fool, he doesn't know the weakness, and the black will easily checkmate him two moves, and this mate is called as fool's mate. We can avoid all these, like we can avoid scholar's mate, we can avoid fool's mate, ये सब हम avoid कर सकते हैं. Only thing is that we should know certain basics पता है रहेगा, पता रहेगा तो हम ये सब avoid कर सकते हैं. But you should also have the knowledge of these things, like scholar's mate और fool's mate, इसका knowledge होना ज़रूरी है. So I am repeating how this fool's mate can happen. Okay, so by playing f3, your opponent will play e5, and if you play g4, then you can become a victim of fool's mate. तो तुम खुद fool's mate हो सकते हो. Okay, so now next, after fool's mate, after fool's mate, I'm going to show you self mate, like how a self mate will happen and the self mate will be taken place. Now let's go back to the same position. For example, if I am moving my pawn to e4, if my opponent is playing pawn to e5, and the self mate is happen in 3 moves. तो आज तक तुम लोग ने यही सीखा होगा कि checkmate can happen within 4 moves, but today just now I showed you the checkmate can happen within 2 moves also, which is called fool's mate, and checkmate can happen in 3 moves also, and that is called self mate, and जो 4 move में होता है that is scholar's mate. So e4, e5, and the white is moving his queen to attack the weak square, which is f7. Now here, by mistakenly, the black player touched his king, and you know that in chess, touch and move is very important rule. So now since he touched his king, he need to play. So here black played his king to e7, and he got checkmate. There is a check, and the king cannot move anywhere. King किधर भी move नहीं कर सकता है. So this is what he got, self mate. So like this the mates can happen. So I hope you understood what is scholar's mate, what is fool's mate, what is self mate, and in coming videos I will tell you how to avoid all these mates, how to avoid self mate, how to avoid fool's mate, and how to avoid scholar's mate. Okay, so see you for my next video, and till then you just keep practicing.